Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Shawnee and I identify as bisexual / queer. I also use the term gay. So this is gonna be a little story time video. And in this story time, we're gonna be traveling way back to a time on Earth called October 2019. So really not that long ago at all. Fall 2019 is when I first came out to myself, but really it was before I started coming out to everyone. It was kind of the very beginning stages of me entering into my queer identity, I guess, and putting myself in these new queer spaces and meeting lots of new queer people, and it was just a very explorative time in my life, and I thought it would be nice to tell a story from that time, and boy do I have many stories, but I'm gonna settle in on one. And the story I'm gonna tell today is basically my first time going to a gay bar / like queer party, I guess, because it wasn't really a gay bar. It was a queer women-owned bar, and there was an event happening that was an event for queer women. Let's just jump right into the story. I got a cup of coffee because we're chilling, guys, we're chilling. Go grab a snack or something to drink or whatever. In my coming out story, I talk about how I'd had little hints here and there growing up that kind of made me question whether I might like girls and whether I might be queer, and I kind of like shut those feelings down and truly thought I was straight until my early 20s. So it's 2019. I've just come out to myself. I just had this really strong urge all of a sudden to start meeting other queer people and to start trying to meet girls, really, because I just wanted to like figure out how I felt even more by like having experiences and by actually meeting other people. So I started looking up these queer events online. And this was really the beginning of me like actually making so many different connections and discovering so many cool spaces in Los Angeles that I never really would have discovered. And this was the beginning of me discovering so many communities and people that I never would have discovered if I hadn't started that search. I think I started with Instagram. I think every queer event I've found has been through Instagram. I found this one event called Divorce. It was, I think, like a monthly party for queer women and non-binary folks. It took place at a place called Bar Franca in downtown Los Angeles, and it was hosted by these two really awesome queer women named Sorrel and Gina. And I decided that I was gonna go to this event. I don't think I'd ever been to a gay bar at that point. I'd definitely never been to like a lesbian party, which this was. I was terrified, first of all. You know, the fact that I was going by myself. I wasn't out to any friends at the time, so I couldn't bring anyone with me. You know, while I had overcome my social anxiety for the most part, certain situations still make me a little bit anxious, especially when I'm going to such a new place by myself. And I think maybe the event happened a few times and I didn't go, and I like watched people's stories from the event, and I really had to work myself up to going. So finally a night came and I decided I was going. I was really scared and just like so nervous. So I got dressed, did my makeup. I had a drink at home before going. I think I had kind of a lot. Not a lot. I just really needed a lot of liquid courage. Okay, then I got in my Uber and I went downtown. So I get there, and Bar Franca is like on this quiet street in downtown LA. The bouncer is like a guy, and I just like, when you're a baby queer, you have all these feelings about everything, and I was like, oh, the bouncer's gonna know I'm gay. He's gonna know I'm here for this lesbian party. Anyway, like I gave him my ID and I walked in. And basically Bar Franca is this small, intimate space. It's very dimly lit. Definitely romantic vibes. The tables each have little candles on them, and it's small. It's a small bar. And there's a tiny little like area that was where people were dancing. It was very packed, guys. I'd never been around like that many lesbians ever in my life. It made me feel like really overwhelmed. It made me feel really like a fish out of water, just because I'd never been around so many gay women in my life. And I was very newly out, and it was new for me, the feeling of like other people knowing that I was gay. And I was, I think, also really overwhelmed because there were just like a lot of hot queer women there. There was this one girl I made eye contact with, and she was like so intimidating. And the eye contact was literally a millisecond, and I got like, my heart started beating like, ah, what am I doing here? And really that was the thought I kept thinking, like, oh my God, what am I doing here by myself? Like, what am I doing here? I did what I sometimes would do if I was nervous in a situation like that. I went to the bathroom, and there was a bathroom line. I was really hoping someone else would talk to me, because there was absolutely no way I was gonna reach out to anyone else first. But I mean, obviously I was going to a place like that because I wanted to make some sort of connection with anyone, not necessarily just a romantic one, but you know, that would have been cool. But I really wanted, someone else was gonna have to talk to me. And 2 people did that night, not including the bartender. You include the bartender, that's 3 people. One of them was in the bathroom line, so I was waiting in the bathroom line, and the girl in front of me started talking to me. I think she just started talking to me like, hey, how's it going? Good. And inside I was like, oh, thank God someone's talking to me. I hate feeling lonely in crowded rooms, which is kind of common. Used to be kind of common for me, unfortunately. And she was really nice. She was like, have you been here before? And I think we just talked for a few minutes before it was her turn to go into the bathroom. We talked about like whether I'd been here before, and I was like, it's my first time. I found it online, and I think she started telling me about another queer party called Gay Astrology. I never know how to say it, but it's just, she was telling me about another queer party called Gay Astrology, which I had also been looking into on Instagram. It's such an iconic, awesome monthly dance party that used to happen at such an iconic, lovely, lovely queer-friendly venue called the Satellite, which has been very impacted by COVID. It hasn't been open for a year, and they've said they are going to take their stage down. They used to have such an amazing indie music scene. Anyway, she was like, have you been to Gay Astrology? That one's happening tomorrow or something. And I was like, no, I haven't, but I've been wanting to check it out. Is it cool? And so we had this brief interaction. She was really cute. But anyway, she went in the bathroom, I went in the bathroom, and I had to just try and get a hold of myself. So I went to the bar, I ordered a drink, and it was pretty much just awkward. I was looking around like everyone was talking to somebody. And so I just stayed at the bar, and I sat at the bar and I drank my drink, and I was like looking at my phone, feeling awkward and feeling really awkward. Like I really wanted to leave because I was too scared to talk to anyone, and people weren't necessarily talking to me. And I didn't have the most open body language, and I know that. It's like a lose-lose situation, you know, when you're like too scared to talk to someone and you have like a closed off body language. Anyway, ever so often I would look up from my phone and I would see like who else was at the bar. There were other people kind of like looking around by themselves, but for the most part everyone was talking to someone else. I just stayed at the bar for a while and decided I was going to stay for a few more minutes, and then I would let myself leave. Got up from the bar, walked like over near the dance floor, and I was just kind of standing there. There was too much going on. I couldn't really go anywhere because it was just too crowded, but I was just kind of standing there. And then person number 2 came up and talked to me. She was nice. She was friendly. It really seemed like she was single. She was there trying to meet girls too. And, you know, we just had some small talk conversation, and it lasted for longer than the bathroom line conversation. But I think I probably seemed really shy. And it's kind of funny because a few days later I matched with her on OkCupid, but nothing ever happened. But anyway, after we talked, she like went off to like go on the dance floor, talk to someone else. I was standing by myself again, feeling really, really awkward. And I didn't know what to do, and I think maybe I went back to the bar one more. Oh no, another person did talk to me. I remember now. Okay, so that's 4 people, including the bartender. So I went over to one of the couches. At that point I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and just be. Like, I don't have to be doing anything. I can just sit, it's fine. Sure, I may look kind of lonely sitting by myself, but I'm just gonna be in the moment and just sit here because I don't know what else to do. And another lady who was sitting by herself seemed like she was ready to head out soon, but seemed super confident. Just briefly we talked, and I don't remember what she said, sorry guys, but the only thing I remember she said was, has anyone talked to you or anything like that? And I guess I said like, yeah, a few people, and I think she said she made some kind of comment about lesbians and how they are. Like, oh, lesbians are so blah, 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 blah. And we like had this brief interaction, and then another girl came in and was like, okay, come on, let's go. And then she left. And I have a feeling that she was possibly one of the owners of the bar, because I have looked up the owner of the bar and she looks like the owner. After that, I stayed a few more minutes. Definitely saw the girl I was talking to earlier with talking to another girl at that point, and they seemed to be having a good time, so that was that. Obviously at the time I was feeling kind of frustrated. It's frustrating when you go into a situation like that and you find it so hard to go up to people or to even make eye contact with people in a situation like that, which I did. I found it so hard, how do you even flirt with someone if you can't make eye contact? Because such a big part of like flirting with strangers in a bar is making eye contact across the room and maybe smiling to show interest. I couldn't do any of that. I was too anxious. I was too scared. So it was just frustrating to be in a situation like that, to be by myself, to be feeling socially awkward and socially anxious, and to be so new to the queer scene, I guess. I called my Uber like soon after that last conversation because I didn't want to leave, but like I wanted to leave. Like I wanted to be there, but I didn't want to be there anymore at the same time because nothing was happening. We don't live in this magical world where you're gonna walk into a gay bar. Like in the movies, sometimes. We don't live in this magical world where you walk into a gay bar and all of these women just come up to you and start flirting with you because they think you're the shit or whatever, and that's not, I mean, sure, that might happen sometimes, and I'm sure it does. That just didn't happen to me. And I think maybe a small part of me thought it would. Thought, not that all these women were gonna come up to me, but like maybe that somebody would like take that initiative. And you know what? There are definitely situations where that would have happened. It just didn't happen that night. Fast forward over a year later, I now have a girlfriend, but I met her online. But she is the kind of girl who, she says if she saw me at a bar that she would have definitely come up to me and said something. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like, we like to think about these situations, but there are definitely people out there who are very strong initiators and very strong at flirting and very confident in social situations and will go up and talk to any stranger. I'm just not that person. So I need somebody who is that person if I'm going to be in a situation like that. Yeah, fast forward over a year later, I am now happily dating a girl who I love very much. So compared to like who I was in this story compared to who I am now, I've grown so much like in my queer identity, and I'm so much more confident now. Just keep putting yourself out there. You'll meet someone, like, if you're trying. It's even harder to meet people when you're queer, especially depending on the city that you live in or the country or like wherever you live. That can be a big part of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just funny thinking back to like when I first came out and thinking about where I am now. I feel really like thankful to be where I am now. I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear some fun stories from, I don't know, anything. Like your experience when you first came out or some similar situations that you've been in or anything like that. Comment below, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe and stick around because I'll be back very soon with a brand new video. Also, I have a few more LGBTQ plus videos on my channel. I have a queer comics and graphic novels recommendation video. I have a few different videos on the topic of coming out. One where I share my story, one where I filmed myself coming out to my parents. Didn't really go well. And one where I just kind of talk about how I came out to everyone in my life. So check out those videos, they're up on my channel. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!